and hit play on your playlist. And then we're going to go ahead and start in a seated meditation. So come to a comfortable seat on your mat. You can sit cross-legged, or you can sit in a modified virasana, sitting back on your heels. If you have a block or a pillow you can sit on, that's great. And then go ahead and just rest your palms on the tops of the knees or thighs. And gently shift your weight back into the sitting bones so that you feel the shoulders stacking over the hips. Allow the shoulders to melt down away from the ears. At the same time, feel the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky, starting to elongate and extend through the spinal column. Just allow the eyelids to get heavy, letting them close over the eyeballs. And let the gaze turn inwards. Just take a moment here to check in, see how you're feeling energetically. How are you feeling physically in the body this evening? And it's the end of the day, or maybe late afternoon for some of us. So just check in with the mind, see if any thoughts from the day have carried their way onto your mat. And after taking all this information in, acknowledging it, start to just become increasingly aware of the breath. Noticing the in-breath coming in through the nostrils, into the lungs. And noticing the out-breath, letting it exit the body. And start to find some equanimity here to the breath. So let the length of the in-breath start to match the length of the out-breath. And if you haven't already, seal the lips and let the breath come in and out of the nose. As we become aware of the breath entering and exiting the body, we become aware of each passing moment coming in and out, entering and exiting. Each out breath, exiting, makes room for the next moment to come in. The next breath. So in this practice, we're constantly checking in. We're noticing what our breath and what our body is doing in space. Not so that we can just develop a deeper understanding of ourselves, but so we stay connected to the present moment unfolding. Trying to practice lessening the distance between our thoughts, what's happening within and around us. Gently bring your hands to heart center, palms touch, Anjali Mudra. And bow the chin towards the heart, bowing the ego. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice this evening, something that you can ground yourself in and hold close to the heart space. Set one here. Let this intention be something truly authentic to you, something that not only want to give to this practice, but something that you want to take out of it. Whether it's practicing non-attachment, not attaching to expectations, or maybe in an intention of gratitude for your health or what you're capable of today, or something else. Seek out what you need. And so we'll all seal in our intentions with a breath together. Exhale all the air out of the lungs. Take a deep breath in through the nose. An open mouth exhale. And gently blink the eyes open. All right, and then we're actually gonna move on to our backs. So go ahead and come onto your backs and keep your feet grounded on the mat. You're gonna bring your arms out to a T. And then from here, bring your feet together to touch and just let the knees fall over to the right. So if you want to scooch your hips left a little bit, you can. And then you're going to start to roll all the way onto the right side into a fetal position or a side lying child's pose. And you'll just allow your head to rest on your right bicep. And just take a few moments here to settle in. Finding deep belly breaths, moving the breath all the way down to the bottom of the lungs, taking up space. And if at the beginning of class you want to keep your eyes closed and just feel the sensations in the body, I recommend trying that out. Right, now you can stay here in the side lying child's pose for as long as you like. Or you can go ahead and extend your right arm out in front of you. And then as you inhale, start to peel the chest open. Coming into Supta Matsyendrasana, the reclined supine twist. Deep breaths. Still trying to create a little length in the side bodies as you twist through the thoracic spine. Oh, I think it feels really nice to sort of lubricate the shoulder joint here. So if you want, you can start to trace the mat with the left hand, reaching the arm overhead, and then back to the side. Or if you want to take full sweeping circles all the way around. You might start to feel some shoulder crunchiness here. My shoulder definitely is a little popping and crunching. And the more you feel that, the more you probably need this. So go ahead and switch directions if you haven't already. Good. And as we start to incorporate more movement in, you might notice that you've totally lost awareness of the breath. So check back in if you haven't already. Good. And then pause wherever you are in your sideline, child's pose, or supine twist. Gently start to peel the sacrum or low back down onto the mat and bring the knees back up towards the sky. And then bring your feet together to touch. And you'll go ahead and let the knees fall left. If you want to scoot the hips to the right, you can. Good, and then continue to roll onto your left shoulder. So you're stacking the right shoulder over the left. And then I like to bring my left arm overhead so I can just rest my head on my bicep. And we'll start by just taking a few breaths here. Grounding ourselves into this new shape. And then if you want, you can come back into that twist. So you'll bring your left arm out in front of your eyesight. Relax the head down and start to roll the shoulders open. And it's okay if your right shoulder doesn't make it all the way down to the mat. And so just let gravity do the work. Let the breath start to open you up more. Try not to force or strain anything here. We're going to be doing a lot of twisting tonight, so let this just be the very beginning stages of that. And so if you want to start to take circles with your arm, you can, just starting to lubricate the right shoulder joint. You might notice one side feels a little bit more open than the other. Really connect the breath with every movement, every action, every moment that you take in the body. Let it be fueled by the breath. And then switch directions with the arm. One more circle if you're taking the arm circles. Good. And then start to settle in and peel the low back, your sacrum back onto the mat so that your feet are stamped down about hips width distance apart, knees towards the sky. And you're going to cross your right ankle over the left knee or thigh. And you can start by gently pressing the right thigh up and away from the right hip. So trying to create more space in that right hip crease. And if you want to take this deeper, you'll go ahead and seal the low back down and lift the left thigh towards the torso. So you can interlace the hands through the legs on that left hamstring or grab the top of the left shin. And then I'm keeping my right foot flexed so that I'm shortening those muscles, pulling on the right kneecap. Good. Take a deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, gently release the left foot down. Keep your legs in this figure four shape, cactus, the arms, or bring them to a T. And then keeping your legs as they are, you're just going to drop the hips to the left. So maybe trying to get that sole of the right foot to stamp down onto the mat. Just keep reaching the right knee forward in space. Good. 2 deep breaths here. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, let the belly soften back in towards the spine. Good. One more inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, come back through center. And then stamp the right foot down, switch sides. You'll cross left ankle over the right thigh, just above the knee. And we'll just start by pressing the left hand gently into the left thigh. So you're lifting it up and away from the left hip bone. We're increasing the space in the left hip crease. And if you want to take this into a deeper hamstring stretch, You'll go ahead and lift the sole of the right foot off the mat, drawing the right thigh towards the torso. So I'm interlacing my hands over my right hamstring, but if you want to grab the shin, you can as well. And again, my left foot is flexed, so the extensor muscles that pull on the kneecap are shortening. A deep breath in. And big exhale. Good. Inhale. See if you can feel the low back expanding into the mat. And exhale, empty out. And gently set the right foot down. Cactus the arms or bring them to a T. And then keeping this figure four shape, you're just going to let the hips fall to the right, stamping the sole of the left foot down. Letting the left knee be high towards the sky. 2 deep breaths. Inhale here. And exhale, empty out. Good. Last one. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, let it go. Gently come back to center. Stamp both feet down, and then you'll either roll onto your side to come up to a tabletop, or you can grab under your knees. Begin rocking the length of your spine 2 or 3 times, eventually crossing your ankles at the top and coming to a tabletop position on all fours. So once you've found your tabletop position, you're going to turn your right hand perpendicular to the left, and if you're feeling more open, maybe bringing the right fingertips all the way back, facing the knees. And then start to draw circles to the right. I would recommend starting with a small circle circumference, and then eventually broadening the circumference of the circle. Still staying connected to the breath. Try not to collapse in the shoulders or the ribs. And then switch directions. It's important here to shift weight between both of the palms of the hand, so not just doing these circles on one wrist. And then flip the right fingertips forward, and then bring the left fingertips either out to the left or bring the fingertips all the way back to face the left knees. And then start to draw your circles in one direction, starting with that smaller circumference. And then starting to broaden the circumference of the circle, increasing your range of motion. And really let the breath amplify the movement. And then switch directions. Again, trying not to collapse into the shoulders or let the low ribs splay out. So keeping a neutral spine. And then flip the left fingertips back forward. So from here, you're gonna go ahead and bring your right foot out to the right, sealing the sole of the foot down. You're gonna press weight into that left hand, so don't let the left shoulder sink into the ear. Inhale, right arm high to the sky, open up across the chest. Exhale, you'll thread the needle, and you'll bring your right ear down to the mat, or if you need a pillow or a block, you can grab that. So you have 2 options. You can start to walk your fingertips forward in space, tenting through the fingers to get a deeper shoulder stretch and breathe into the space between the shoulders. Or if you want a deeper thoracic spine twist, you'll wrap the left hand around and try to reach for that right hip crease. A deep breath in. Big exhale. And so as you inhale, feel the belly expanding towards the mat. And exhale back in towards the spine. And gently release any arm variations you have. Plant the left palm under the shoulder. Inhale, right arm high to the sky. Listen closely. You're gonna go ahead and spin that left shin perpendicular to the mat and step the right foot out to the right. From here, reach the right arm overhead, palm face down, modified side plank. Try not to hold too much tension in the head or neck here at the beginning of class. So if you're cranking the neck up, if you feel a lot of tension there, just bring the gaze forward or down. Good. Inhale here. As you exhale, bring the right arm back up and lift the back leg. Modified half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. And make sure this left hand is right underneath the left shoulder. Good. Try not to let the hips sink back. Good. If you want to gaze up towards the right thumb, you can. And if you want to take this into a little bit of a back bend, a front body opener, you can start to draw the heel back towards the glute, engaging the right hamstring. Capture the top of the foot or ankle and kick into the hand. So this is sort of like sugar cane or Chapasana, but the modified version. A deep breath in. Big exhale. If you have the back foot, release it. Stamp the back foot down. And then bring the right hand down and keep the right toes on the mat behind you, coming back to your tabletop, and just rock forward and back in space a few times to get a little calf stretch here. So we're really taking our time here today to just open up at the beginning of class. Before we go deeper into stretches later on. Draw the right knee back down. And we're gonna switch sides. So you'll bring your left foot out to the left, planting the sole of the foot down, pressing through the outer edge of the foot. And then press weight into the right hand. Inhale, left arm high to the sky. Good. Really externally rotate that right shoulder back into the socket. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, start to thread the needle, left arm under right. Left ear to the mat or a pillow or a blanket if you need a prop. So again, options are you can walk the right fingertips forward in space, tenting through the fingers and take deep breaths, sort of opening up the space between both shoulder blades. Or if you took a twist on the other side, right hand will wrap around for that left hip crease. We'll start to roll the heart open. Inhale, try to kiss the mat with the belly. And exhale, let everything soften back in. One more round of breath. Inhale. And exhale. And gently release, right hand down underneath the right shoulder. Inhale, left arm high to the sky, open up. And then this transition again, you're gonna bring that right shin perpendicular to the mat and step the left foot out to the side. So your right shoulder should be right over that right wrist. And then reach the left arm over, palm facing down for modified side plank. Really press into the outer edge of that back foot. And again, your gaze can be down, forward, or up, whatever gives you the most tension relieving effect. So if gazing up strains your neck, then try a different gaze. Right, from here, you're gonna inhale, left arm high to the sky, lift the back foot, modified half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. You feel the outer glute and hip really working here. Now, if you wanna take the Chapasana variation, the sugar cane, you'll start to work the left heel back towards the glute, really engaging the left hamstring. Capture the top of foot or ankle and kick into the hand, rolling the chest open. Try not to sink that right shoulder towards the ear, so press into the right hand. Keep breathing. And then on your next inhale, release any variations. Set the back foot down and come into your tabletop with the left leg extended behind you. And just shift the weight forward and back. Finding that gentle calf stretch that we did on the other side. Good, and then bring the knees back together into your tabletop. After that long warming up, we're finally ready for down dog. So bring your hands about a palm print forward in space. And before you press up, I want you to feel the eyes of the elbow. So the elbow crease is rolling forward and the chest broadening. Tuck the toes here as you breathe in. And then lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog as you breathe out. So it might be your first down dog of the day. But if not, you might want to find stillness right away. And if so, you might want to find a little movement. So I like to paddle out my dog, bending my right knee and left. I sometimes like to roll my heels side to side, finding a deep side body stretch. Take whatever you need here in these first few moments before settling into stillness here. And it's okay if your heels don't reach the ground. You want to just keep reaching the backs of the calves down away from the backs of the knees. Keep integrating all 10 knuckles into the mat. Keep hugging the upper outer arm bones in towards one another. And then really activate through the front side of the legs. So you want to take some weight out of the hands. You can try flexing your toes up towards the shins, drawing the shins towards the kneecaps, contracting the thighs, lifting the femur bones up into the hip sockets. Feel free to micro bend your knees if you need. Good. 2 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Another round. Inhale. Exhale, empty out. And on your next inhale, roll forward, find a high plank position. Hold the high plank. Good. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide, almost like you're trying to split the mat into 2 pieces. Find a little traction of the hands away from one another. Contract the fronts of the thighs towards the backs of the thighs. And check in. If you stopped breathing, find the breath. Good. And also the tailbone likes to really tilt up here. Lengthen it down towards the heel. Scoop the low belly up and in. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, bend the knees, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Good. On your next inhale, roll forward, high plank. Exhale, bend the knees, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, lift the hips up and back. Good. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. And exhale, step the feet forward to the top of the mat. Good. And then you have a few options here. You're going to bring your feet hips width distance apart. Traditionally, I like to take ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows or biceps. But today, I'm going to give the option if you want to interlace the hands behind the base of the skull on the neck, you can. Just let the elbows draw in towards one another. And you can find little sways side to side. And just allow the brain to feel super heavy in the skull down towards the earth. So if your gaze is down, let the gaze fall back. Let the jaw release. Maybe even wiggle the jaw side to side. And then eventually bring the fingertips down to the mat. You can keep the feet hips width distance apart or toe heel them together to touch. Find a little bend in the knees and start to round up, stacking one vertebra on top of the next. Good. Letting the chin stay into the heart to the last moment when the crown of the head lifts. Good. You'll go ahead and flip the palms to face forward, rolling the shoulders down the back. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, find a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, step back, find a high plank position. You can always modify with tabletop. A deep breath in here. As you exhale, lower all the way down, maybe trying to get everything to arrive at the same time. Untuck the toes, hands are under shoulders. Roll the shoulders back off the mat. And inhale, continue to peel the chest up. Think about pressing through the pinky toe edges of the mat, Bhujangasana, baby cobra. And micro tuck the chin, lengthen through the back of the neck. One more deep breath in. And exhale, forehead releases. Tent your fingertips out to the right and left sides of the mat. You're going to take a variation of Bhujangasana. We're going to draw circles. So you're going to inhale, press into the fingertips, reach the gaze over to the right. Up, shifting weight into the left fingertips. Down to the left. One more circle to the right. Inhale. And exhale. And then switch directions, left. Feeling the chest up. And over to the right. And one more. Really connecting the breath. And then ground the forehead down, plant the palms, tuck the toes. You can come through tabletop, or you'll contract the thighs, lift the knees off the mat, and then try to tuck the tailbone, lift the belly button off the mat. Press into the hands, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. And take a deep breath in. Big exhale. Another round, inhale. Exhale. The last grounding breath, fill up all the way. And exhale, empty out all the way. Next inhale, float the right leg high to the sky. As you exhale, draw the knee to the nose, round forward. High plank. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to the nose. Use this as a transition to step the foot through the hands. Runner's lunge. So I like to have my fingertips on the mat or hands on blocks. Lift the torso off of the right thigh and hug that right hip crease back. A deep breath in. As you exhale, you'll lower the left knee down, untuck the back toes. And inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So think about wrapping the pinky fingers in to face one another and lifting up the sides of the ribs. So your gaze can lift. Keep hugging that right hip back. Front low ribs down, back low ribs up. One more inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to sweep the right arm back, find a twist. Good. So you can gaze in front of you or back towards your right thumbs. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, stay here, or maybe bring your right hand to your low back or hamstring and find a revolved twist. So reaching back. Good. Inhale here. As you exhale, bring left hand inside the right foot. Right arm high, tuck the back toes, lift the left knee. If you need to self-adjust, you can take your right thumb, peel the right hip back, And then this left hip likes to drop down. So contract the left thigh, lift the left hip bone in line with the right. Deep breath in. As you exhale, right hand comes down. Step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, high prayer. Tailbone lengthens down. Exhale, fold forward, keeping the length through the side bodies, Uttanasana. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Listen carefully. You're going to cross your left foot behind the right so that you bring the pinky toe edges of the feet to seal together. Now I want everyone to imagine squeezing the heels and the pinky toe edges of the feet as tightly as you can together. You should feel the outer hips pulling away from each other. The legs are working super hard here. So the legs are really active in this fold. You're squeezing the feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. And then return the left foot parallel to the right. And then you'll switch sides. So right foot behind the left. Pinky toe edges of the feet come together. And if you need your hands on cans or blocks, you can. And then start to squeeze the heels, the ankles, the pinky toe edge of the feet towards one another, really feeling the outer hips reaching away from one another and the sit bones widening. You should feel more space in the low back as you do this. My legs are working super hard here, so you control that feeling. My breath is engaged. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, step the feet together and just find a forward fold. Notice if you feel a lot more open here. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, step back, find your high plank position. Now you can take Cobra again, or if you're ready for Chaturanga, we'll inhale, shift forward past the wrist. As you exhale, lower down, shoulders are elbow height. Inhale, upward facing Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Still staying active through the legs. Inhale here. Grounding exhale. The last time, inhale. And exhale, let it go. And next, inhale, float the left leg high to the sky. And exhale, knee to nose, rounding forward, pressing the mat away. Inhale, left leg high. And exhale, step the foot through, runner's lunge. Good, so again, it's really easy to just hang out, resting the torso on the thigh. So come to your fingertips or blocks, lift the torso off the spine or off the leg and elongate through the spine. Good, from here, lower the back knee down, untuck the back toes. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So my pubic bone is lifting up towards my navel and my tailbone is driving down towards my back knee. Deep breath in. As you exhale, find your open twist to the left. Your gaze can maybe even trace back to that left thumb. Keep tractioning the sole of the left foot back. Really engaging that left hamstring. Good. From here, start to find your revolve twist. So your left hand can come to the sacrum, the low back, or maybe the right hamstring. And really reach up and back. Creating more length through the right side body. One more inhale. Exhale, right hand down inside the left foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the right knee. If you need to self-adjust, maybe use your thumb to peel the left hip crease back. And then if this right hip's dropping down, really contract the right thigh. Lift the right hip in line with the left. One more deep breath in. And exhale, plant the palm, gaze forward. Step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Good. From here, you're gonna inhale, halfway lift. Bend the right knee, plant the left fingertips, and reach the right arm high. Inhale. Exhale, swim the right arm forward, plant the palm, bend the left knee, and reach the left arm high. A deep breath in. And exhale, swim the left arm forward. And then if you would like to just find a few circles with the arms and this motion connecting the breath, you can. Again, really lubricating the shoulder joint, finding those gentle twists through the spine. And then once you even out both sides, come back to your forward fold. We'll all inhale, find a halfway lift, drawing the inner upper thighs back. And exhale, step back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. So you can always skip that. And if you want to take child's pose instead of down dog at any point, also you can. Yoga is always about listening to your body, responding to what you need in the moment. So not what you're capable of last class or last year, but what you need tonight. So deep breath in through the nose. This time, big exhale out the mouth. Another round, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, float the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Press the ground away. Inhale, right leg high. And exhale, knee to left tricep. Extend the leg out long. And then you'll press into the right hand. Peel the heart open. Fall in triangle. Now some of us might want to take a more active variation and lift the right foot, grabbing the foot. But if you're looking for more of the heart opening, just lift the hips towards the sky, let them ascend, and press the soles of the feet into the earth. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, plant the left hand and step the right foot between the hands. Good. Inhale, step the back foot in, and we'll take Parsvottanasana, pyramid. So you're gonna straighten both legs. If you have cans or blocks, sometimes it's helpful to have a little height here. And if you don't, you can always micro bend the knee a little bit or step the feet in more. So you're gonna inhale, find a halfway lift. Feel the inner thighs, so the inseams of the pants rolling backwards in space, opening up across the low back. And exhale, fold over the leg. If you want a deeper stretch, you can walk the hands back. And let the head and neck relax. If you tend to hyperextend, I hyperextend a lot in my right leg. So just press through the ball mound of the right foot to micro bend the knee. If you do have blocks at home too, sometimes I even wedge a block underneath my calf to help with hyperextension. It's a fun trick. But on your next inhale, find that halfway lift, reach the tailbone back, heart forward. And then you're gonna plant the left fingertips down on a mat or the block. And inhale, bring the right arm high. Now, if this is a lot, just bring the hand to the low back, find a level low back. Like you could balance a cup of water there and peel the heart open from there. So this is a good alternative, and it's a great way to check in. Deep breath in. Exhale, twist and rinse. Good, one more inhale. Exhale. Good, gaze down as you breathe in. Bend through the front knee, and you're gonna shift your weight forward, revolved half moon. So again, I have my left hand on a block. You can have fingertips on the mat, block, or any prop that you have. And you can still have your hands in this variation. So palm on sacrum, elbow high. You wanna point the left toes down. And you have to use the strength of your external and internal obliques to really open up here. Good, one more deep breath in. And exhale, step the feet together, forward fold. Good, inhale, halfway lift. Keep fingertips on the mat. As you exhale, bend the knees, sit back. Make sure that your knees aren't passing the toes. So if you gaze down, make sure you can see the toes. You're gonna keep your torso as sealed to the thighs as you can. And then we're finding Ardha Utkatasana. So you're gonna reach the right arm forward, palm faces in. Left arm forward, palm faces in. Deep breath into the low back. Feel it moving horizontally. Big exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, maybe a little back bend. And exhale, palms by the side, Tadasana. Check in for one deep breath in. Big exhale. Good. Sit the hips back. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Good. As you exhale, bring the palms together. Find a twist to the right. Now, if bringing the elbow outside the knee is too challenging, bring it between the knees. Or just bring your hand down, arm high. And I'm gonna gaze down. Notice if my left knee is coming in front of the right, into the left hip back if that's the case. And eventually I wanna try to get my heart higher than my hips and my hand from my armpit closer to my heart. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Inhale, come back to chair. Exhale, switch sides, right elbow outside the left knee. Good, checking in, right? So if I need to bring my elbow in between the knees or modify, taking the necessary modifications, making sure that right hip isn't coming forward, lifting through the heart. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Another round. Inhale. Exhale, this time fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, step or maybe hop back through your chaturanga or any variation of vinyasa that you've been taking. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Another round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, float the left leg high. And as you exhale, bring the knee to the left tricep. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, left leg high. And exhale, knee to the right tricep. Extend the leg. And then you'll find either your fallen triangle variation, or if you want to take the more active variation of grabbing the foot, you can. But if you're working on opening up through the heart, just lift the hips. Try to press the soles of the feet down. Deep breath in. Big exhale. One more inhale here. As you exhale, plant the right hand. Draw the knee in and step it forward, runner's lunge. Inhale, gaze forward, step forward. Setting up for pyramid pose on the other side. So shorten your stance if you need to. You're gonna inhale, find a halfway lift. Roll the hips back. And exhale, fold. Let the jaw release here. The gaze is down, let it fall back. Let the crown of the head be heavy. Softening into the stretch. When you're ready, inhale, find a halfway lift. Plant the right fingertips down on a blocker mat and inhale the left arm high, peeling the chest open. And if you want to check in, you can bring the palm of the hand to the low back. Make sure the hips are level. So if you planted a glass of water there, it would be steady. And then roll the left elbow high and the chest open from there. The more space you can create between the crown of the head and the tailbone, the easier it is to twist. Good. Inhale, gaze down, bend the front knee. We'll move into revolved half moon. So you'll plant the right fingertips down, lifting the back leg. And you can keep the elbow high, or if you want to open the arm up, you can. So yogi's choice. Right toes are pointing down, so if you gaze back, you should see them pointing down. Left toes are relaxed. One more deep breath in. And exhale, set the feet together, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. One more halfway lift as you breathe in. And as you exhale, final chance for chaturanga. You'll step back or hop back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. So 3 rounds of lion's breath. You'll inhale through the nose. Exhale, stick the tongue out. Let some heat go. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale here. Exhale. Good. Inhale, float the right leg high. As you exhale, step it through, find a runner's lunge, and lower the back knee. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Hands to heart center. And find a twist. So you'll hook the elbow. And so we're about to transition into the yin portion of class, but we'll lead into it with just a low lunge twist on each side, moving into pigeon. If you want to take this twist deeper by extending the arms or taking a half or full bind, you can. But just note that you're compressing the belly, a lot of the internal organs. So think about breathing into the low back and kidneys. Really rinsing and detoxing through those organs with the breath. Gently release. Bring your fingertips down, and you're gonna toe heel the right foot over to the left. Bring the shin down, the knee down, moving into pigeon. So if you came to class a little late, I had everyone grab pillows. So if you need to slide a pillow, or if you have a block at home underneath the sitting bone, you can. And if this is still too much on the knees, just take reclined pigeon. Good. So in your pigeon pose, start by just gazing over the right shoulder, finding a little twist, feeling that left hip bone draw down. And the exhale, come back to center. Inhale, lift through the heart and chest. And then as you exhale, start to fold into the sleeping pigeon stretch. Now, I'm going to give you a lot of options here. You don't need to find your deepest stretch right away. We'll be here for 3 minutes. First option is just sleeping pigeon. If you want to rest your forehead on any props you might have laying around, similar to a block, you can. You do happen to have blocks at home. I love putting them underneath my armpits and letting my forehead release. We've been doing a lot of twisting today. So if you want to take a twist here, you're going to thread the needle left arm underneath the right and walk the right fingertips forward, or take a half bind, capturing the left ankle or big toes, or the right rather. So in this class, we move really slow. Might not do so many postures, but even in the active portions of class, we take this time to go deeper. So see if you can dedicate some of that same intention, awareness, and action, or rather effort that you put into the action, into inaction and release. Conscious release of the muscles. The more you breathe into the low back, the more you'll start to feel this in the hips, the psoas. You can stay in any of these postures longer if you like. Join us whenever you're ready, if you're ready. If you're ready now, we'll gently start to unwind, walking the hands back up. We'll tuck the back toes and step the right foot back. And if you want to lift the leg towards the sky or roll the hip open, feel free to invite that in. And when you're ready, you'll inhale, float the left leg high to the sky. Exhale, step the foot through the hands. Lower the back knee down, and we'll just find this twist before entering pigeon. So inhale, arms come up through Anjaneyasana, low lunge. As you exhale, hands come through heart center. Use the internal and external obliques to twist, and then hook the elbow. Good. Maybe your gaze lifts as well. And if you took a bind or opened up through the arms and across the chest on the other side, you can. Now the bind is a really deep compression of the belly. So again, think if you can breathe into the low back, redirecting the breath. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And gently release when you're ready. And then we'll go ahead and walk the left foot over to the right. Lower down onto the shin and knee. So if you took a variation on the other side or a modification, used any props, feel free to gather those. And just remember that you can always treat each side how it needs to be treated. So maybe this side needs something new. Maybe you need to take this on your back. And just respond accordingly. So we'll start by just taking a little twist to the left. Finding that right hip peeling forward, left hip drawing back. And then gaze forward as you exhale. One more deep breath in. And then exhale, start to walk the hands forward. Again, sliding any props, books, blocks into the forehead or armpits. If you want to go deeper into that twisting motion, you can thread the needle. Right arm slides palm face up underneath the left. The right ear and temple fall to the mat. And so you can keep the left arm forward. If you want to take a bind and try to capture the ankle, foot, or toes, you can. Once you settle into your final destination in this shape, see if you can find that stillness. Starting to become increasingly aware of the difference between habitual movement in the body and when you take mindful, intentional adjusts. Something doesn't feel right, making a change. So for a lot of us, this might feel really natural, really comfortable being in stillness. And also for some of us, this can be just as difficult of a practice as the active vinyasa or yang practice that we do. Even when the body goes through the motions and finding relaxation, sometimes the mind disconnects. Still moving at full speed. One way to start to work towards bridging this gap is to constantly come back to the breath. Back to the awareness of the body. Maybe even confront some of those thoughts. Draw your awareness there so that you can allow them to pass through and exit the mind, clearing space. Again, feel free to stay here in this shape for as long as you like. If you're ready to come out, gently just walk the hands up. We'll step back, last down dog of practice. You'll tuck the back toes, lift the hips up and back, and step back, downward facing dog. Just getting a little stretch behind the knees. When you're ready, gently lower down. So this next twist that we're going to be doing is why I suggested maybe having pillows nearby. Again, you can change the pillow cover if you're worried about getting them dirty. If you don't have pillows, you can take side lying child's pose like we did at the very beginning of class, which I'll demonstrate as well. But you're going to take your pillows. You can use one pillow. I like to use two. You're going to bring them in front of you. And then you're going to bring your left hip to start up to the pillows. Now there's a few different leg variations. So if you're taking a side lying child's pose, you might want to have the knees stacked and maybe put a blanket between the thighs. Or if you would like, you can also stagger the legs. So if you don't have the pillows, you'll just come down onto your side and rest your head in your bicep. Now, if you do have the pillows, we're going to work on a little bit of a twist here. So you're going to bring your hands to frame the pillows. You'll walk them out long and inhale, reach the heart and torso forward. As you exhale, you'll continue to walk the hands forward. And you can start with your gaze to the right in the same direction of the knees. If you want to go for a deeper twist, extending that spinal twist all the way into the cervical spine, which is your neck, you'll bring the right ear down to the pillow and gaze left. Whatever you need here. I'm wondering if I put my head on this pillow, if you'll be able to hear my left AirPod. And so go ahead and take deep breaths into the right lower back. While we're twisting, we're rinsing and detoxifying the internal body. Getting out all the things that aren't serving our physical health. But if you can imagine for a moment, a sort of proverbial or mental detox, in Yin Yoga, we start to descend a little bit deeper into our bodies of thought. And in this process, we can start to observe, become more aware of the thoughts or things that we store deep down that we don't really need right here in this moment, or things that we can confront and release. So noticing that sometimes the best way out is through. So as we start to twist and rinse through the spine and the internal organs, see if you can start to rinse out any of those things in the mind, the heart space, the proverbial sense that also aren't serving you or your health. And also maybe the thought that you become aware of is just a reaction to stillness. Noticing if it comes naturally or might take a little bit more effort. We'll be here for another minute. Down to 20 breaths. We think you're ready. Start to relax the hands back. We're going to take a transition pose for just a minute. We're going to start to roll so that your back is facing the pillows. Just walk your hands behind you, windshield wiper the knees side to side here, just sort of lubricating the hip joint. And then draw the pillows all the way in towards your low back. If you don't have pillows, you'll be lying all the way down on the mat. You'll bring the soles of the feet together to touch. Again, if you have extra pillows or blocks, you can put them under the knees. And then you're gonna start to just lay back onto the pillows, letting the heart spill open. Now, if you have two pillows, you can also lay on one pillow and slide the other underneath the knees. Let the palms come face up so that the chest is stretching across the mat or pillows. Start to send the breath all the way down into the lowest part of the abdomen, feeling the hip flexors starting to open up. And exhale, let them soften in. And notice the breath entering the belly and the solar plexus just above the belly button. Feeling the low back and side bodies opening up. And exhaling, letting them soften in. Now notice the breath as it enters the upper back, the chest, the rib cage. Feel the heart expanding in the space. Exhale, feel the heart drawing back in closer to home. Notice the breath as it moves in through the throat space on its journey to the body. And exhale, let it exit out. And finally, notice the cool air as it enters through the nostrils. As it exits, notice the warm air in the nose. Stay here for as long as you like. And if you're ready to move to our other side, you'll gently just start to roll over to the right. And you'll press yourself up very gently. And you're going to draw your right hip into the bolsters. Again, you can stagger the legs, or if you want to stack the knees and put a blanket between the knees, you can. And then I'm going to inhale, reach the arms forward and the heart forward, elongating through the side bodies. And as I exhale, I'm going to walk down onto my forearms and bring my gaze either left or that deeper twist to the right. So if you don't have the pillows, your option is just taking the side lying child's pose, resting your head on your right bicep. We'll be here for about 3 minutes. So see if you can just settle in. Descending deeper into the body and deeper into those bodies of thought and stillness. Another minute, 10 to 20 breaths. Stay here. If you're ready, you'll gently start to walk your hands up. You can put your pillows off to the sides. We started a few minutes late, so we're just going to do one final thing before Shavasana. We'll only be in it for about 10 breaths on both sides, but I want to take Dhananasana to get through the myofascial tissue down both sides of the body. And as you can imagine, Dhananasana is banana pose, and it looks like a banana shape. So you're going to start. You're going to bring your left heel to the left edge of the mat and cross the right ankle on top of the left. Maybe scooch the hips over to the right a little bit. Now I'm going to bring my shoulders back over to the left. So I'm making a banana shape with the longer side being my right side. I'll bring my left hand up towards the left corner of the mat. And I'll capture my right hand and my left, or if you want to bring actually right hand underneath the left. Now you want to keep both shoulders on the mat and your entire sacrum, that flat bone on your low back on the mat. So try not to let the right side roll up and off. And see if you can send the breath deep into the connective tissue that makes up the entire right side body. Let the eyelids close. Five more deep breaths here. And we'll go ahead and switch sides. So come back through center. Then you're going to bring your right ankle to the right corner of the mat. Left foot is going to cross over the right. I'm going to pop my hips out to the left and my shoulders over to the right. And this time I'll bring my left hand under my right overhead, making sort of this banana shape with my body. I'm going to try to keep that left shoulder from rolling off the mat so it's grounded. The left hip is grounded. We're imagining that the breath starts at the left fingertips. As you inhale, it moves down the left arm, side body, ribs, hips, legs, ankles, and toes. As you exhale, you feel everything softening in, melting towards the mat. About 10 more deep breaths here. We spent time drawing awareness to physical, emotional, and mental bodies this evening. Can you adapt the idea that sometimes it's the right amount of disconnect that can allow us to connect deeper? Sometimes the right amount of disconnect can allow us to connect deeper. Gently come back through center. If you have your hair in any sort of hair ties, I encourage you to let it go. You can set any props out to the side. If you have your pillow tonight, I like to put it underneath my knees just to add a little more relief to the low back. And go ahead and shimmy the shoulders into the heart. Let the palms come face up by the sides. And surrender the practice of even awareness for just these next few moments so that you can allow everything to exist in its natural state. The breath, the body, let every single cell of the body soften into the mat. Soften into the earth. Final Shavasana. And so it's just about 5 minutes after class. We started 5 minutes late. Feel free to hang out in Shavasana a little bit longer if you have time this evening. If you're ready to reawaken the body, just start by deepening the breath. And start to integrate the breath into the muscles, finding some micro movements through the fingers and the toes, the ankles, and the wrists. Maybe roll the head side to side on the mat. And inhale, sweep the arms all the way up overhead, full body stretch. And as you exhale, you'll just bring the knees into the chest and roll over to your favorite side into a fetal position. Just pause through this transition. Letting corpse pose Shavasana mark the death of our practice this evening. The fetal position marks the birth into the rest of the night. Keeping the eyes closed, just gently start to walk the hands up. And crossing the ankles. And bring the hands back to heart center, Anjali Mudra, where class began. Feel the thumbs against the heart space and the sternum. Feel the heart lifting up towards the thumbs. We'll close class together with a breath. Exhale all the air out from the lungs. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth. Thumbs come to third eye or intuitive center. Thank you all so much for sharing this time together, for sharing this practice, and for sharing your energy with one another in the comfort of your homes. Namaste.